Yesterday on the air, CZ called me a liar.
Calvin's a liar.
That suggests that I perjured myself in front of the U.S. Senate for 2 hours this week. I can assure you that is not the case.
In a recent interview with CNBC, Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary defended his role as a spokesperson for the bankrupt crypto exchange FTX. O'Leary also reacted to CZ's claim that he was a liar. According to O'Leary, Binance CEO CZ accusations suggested that he perjured himself during the testimony he granted before the U.S. Senate Banking Committee on December 14. But before we listen to Kevin O'Leary, if you are new to the channel and not subscribed, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any videos.
Another little parable here you should understand. When I was young, my birth father, who's Irish, put me on his knee, and every Irishman will know this, and he said, "Son, never call an Irishman a liar unless you know with certainty that's true." And I said, "Why is that, Dad?" He said, "Because the Irish are crazy." Now, I don't know what it meant back then, but I got to tell you, I'm not happy about that. So at the end of the day, I have no ill will to this guy, but he's part of the story too. And you found out yesterday, you did a little work with Squawk Box. We talked about it either being 2 billion or 3 billion, that transaction. That's the largest transaction, I think, of anything in there regarding the balance sheet in recent 24-month period. And he confirmed it was 2.1 billion. And then he confirmed that he still had 550 million, $500 million of FTT tokens. Now, at some point, we're going to look at that week of November 6th, and you ask anybody, why was Sam Bankman-Fried or the whole company FTX forced into bankruptcy? It was jamming down that last $500 million that gave them no option. Now, is that the fatal stroke or blow to get rid of your global competitor? I say yes. I'll tell you something else. Right after that interview, I got a phone call, or actually it was a text, from a lobbyist in Washington saying, "Don't go anywhere, you're coming back." So I bet CZ bought himself an invitation to Washington yesterday. Can't wait to meet him there. We can go sightseeing. Remember, this guy's a huge shareholder of FTX, or he was, and so he didn't see the fraud either. So at the end of the day, the question becomes clawback. You've been talking about it for the last 2 days. Is that 2.1 billion Madoff-style clawback? Who knows? But if I get on that credit committee, I'll be one of the guys doing the clawing. So I'm looking forward to that, because I think at the end of the day, every shareholder and account holder has to have an answer to what happened here. I normally would have written this off like the other 8 venture investments, but not this one. I'm staying on this one right to the end. I'm going to teach this course at Harvard one day in my guest lecturing. This is going to be a case. This will be a chestnut. This is an extraordinary situation right now. Sam Bankman-Fried was hiring all these people. He was very jealous of the accounts that Coinbase had, and he wanted to figure out how to build a retail base quickly. And so it's not crazy what he did. Putting his name on an arena makes sense if you can make a brand become ubiquitous in America so that you can try and get more consumers to build that base. Maybe jealous isn't the right word, but he said they started 3 years earlier and they were way ahead of him, and he wanted to catch up. And that was the way to do it. So it's not a crazy theory. Companies advertise and they do it this way. Now, obviously, none of us would have wanted to be in this mess if we could have avoided it, but we just didn't know. And frankly, venture investing is, you can do all the due diligence you want. You're still going to get 8 out of 10 go to 0. That's been the stats since 1954 when they first started covering it in Boston. Right. So at the end of the day, that's the nature of investing this way. It's risky.
If they do recover money, that money that goes back, what should the order of the creditors be? Who should get paid back first? The people who actually lost their money that they were asking them to hold, or contractors and spokespeople? Like where should that fall in your opinion?
My opinion about this is, when you become an advocate for getting it back on a credit committee, you take care of the small people first, the people that lost their money. I don't mean small people. I mean people that diminishment amounts inside their accounts. They're hurt the most. And so it's not that the shareholders, of which I'm included, I'm in both of these groups, I don't think we should get anything back. We're venture investors. We're big boys. We lost our money. We understand it. I don't want anything back there until the people that had money in the accounts get theirs back. That just seems fair. And I really, because we know as venture investors, we're going to get it wrong 80% of the time. And here's another one. But there's something wrong with sweeping somebody's account of their assets. Where is that money? That's the question I have, and everybody on the committee is going to want the same answer. And so does John Ray, where this is a classic case, and he said it himself this week in front of the Senate too. This is just follow the money.